Welcome to another episode of Ruff Talk VR, a weekly podcast with in-depth game reviews, exclusive developer interviews, and the latest MetaQuest and virtual reality news. We join our hosts, the father-son team of D. Scruffles and Stratus today, as they spend another episode breaking down and discussing the world of virtual reality.
Hey, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR, coming at you with a podcast in a hotel.
From the Seaport.
From the Omni at the Seaport Hotel in Boston. We have no headphones, so it's a little awkward. You know, before you ever start a podcast, I always thought at least like the feedback from the headphones would be like a disconnecting, weird experience, but like it's weirder to not have the headphones.
Even in gaming headphones, if I have the ability to, back in the day, not all sound cards let you do it, but I would always have it play my voice into my own headphones.
I thought I would hate it, but it's actually like it locks us in. It's like part of the immersion of the experience. And then we have this AC blasting in the back as well
that
too.
I can shut off, but it's hot.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Although
I don't really want to sweat.
66. I know who set that.
We've been wet the entire time here, not because PAX East is so great that we're that excited. We've just been wet from all of the rain that's been coming down. Clearly, it's late. We're silly. It's Saturday night. We're leaving tomorrow morning, early morning bus, doing all of our packing now. So theoretically, this won't be the longest episode we've ever done. We're actually going to keep it short. We're not talking news today. Maybe I have a couple pieces to bring up, but it's mainly going to be just the PAX East 2025 wrap up. Woo! With a new and improved VR Freeplay area.
Yeah.
You had some good comments on it about like, I think it would have been better if the quests were...
Yeah, the quest. I mean, they had the quest, which was nice.
Happy it's upgraded. This is just for like constructive feedback.
Yeah, it would have been nice if the quests were up front and the other headsets were... The old headsets were tucked in the back.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, that's just being selfish.
Well, I think they had indexes with...
and then I think there was some on the second floor, too. That I have no clue.
I think that second floor was just a console hangout.
Okay. So
not
there was no VR there.
Maybe don't quote me. I didn't check it out. I didn't know about that upstairs one until we were talking with Samson and Dan from Let's Talk Oculus. But yeah, no, PAX East 2025 in the books. It's been fun. A little bit of VR. I think there's like 5 or 6 VR booths in total.
It's about what we said going into it.
Yeah, it's kind of become the norm. I think it's still ripe for some developers to come in and really clean house.
Some in the form of like 25.
So this year we had Schell Games, we had Owlchemy Labs, we had Pencil, we had Stay Forever Homes, we had Tunnel, and that Stay Forever Homes. It's not plural. Stay Forever Home.
Home. Well, some people.
Then we had Pin City. I feel like maybe I'm missing one in there. But like you said, 5 or 6 developers, but they all crushed it.
Schell Games.
Yeah, with Among Us.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
They were my first as they're...
Well, dude,
they're big dogs, you know?
Every single year, it's like you could put 20 VR studios in there and every one of them is going to have a stacked crowd around them.
Pin City crushed it.
Dude, 3
Pencil.
years in a row.
Did we ever not see somebody sitting down at that Pencil booth having
Doing
fun?
Pencil?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What I like too is Schell Games and Owlchemy had booth sizes that you would expect out of studios their size.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like, you know, it's kind of cool with the PAX East booth size variety, like Pencil, Stay Forever Home. They were much...
well, Stay Forever Home was more of a collab with other studios. So there was like, 10 different... Which is a smart way to do it.
Pin City as well. They didn't like...
Pin City had a corner, though.
They didn't need to go over the top with a giant room, though.
If you have a corner space versus... If you have a 10-foot corner, you have 20 feet of frontage versus the 10 by 10, which gives you 10 feet of frontage.
You were very complimentary of their location.
Yeah.
This year.
Every year, dude, they've gone to a different spot. And this year is like... But that's it. I keep saying it. It's like, it's got to come out this year.
But my point being with that, like, you don't need a giant booth to crush it. I mean, Pin City was stacked. Pencil, they were stacked the whole time. With Tunnels was great. Tunnels had a really good crowd with them at all times.
Well, who didn't? As far as like VR games that was there.
Yeah. I mean, dude, the VR that goes there gets a lot of attention.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I've never heard in 3 years of PAX still? Knock on table.
What's that?
I haven't heard it yet. I haven't heard people walk away from booths going, I'm nauseous. That made me sick. Whatever these common VR roadblocks that come with like unoptimized games and, experiences years ago. It feels like developers are creating much more palatable experiences.
Well, I mean, there'll always be the epic roller coasters, right?
It's like the worst game to demo.
Well, yeah,
at a
that's why
convention.
you're not going to see it at a. So, I mean, as long as you're intelligent about what you're willing to let people, and even if you have a game that could cause motion sickness for like newbies, you could still craft a demo that wouldn't like give you full blown motion sickness. I'd hope, but
Pencil, you're looking down the entire time.
dude,
in mixed reality.
That one's got me. I gotta hop on that.
Yeah, you actually were mixing it up with a different drawing game, and you're so relieved that it wasn't.
Yeah,
that game.
because the one I had played was a little broken, so I was like, okay, I'll just won't touch it for a while. So I figured I'd have the conversation with the developer about why my experience isn't as good as it should be.
You went to go pull up that game, and it said $9.99.
I'm like, shit,
that can't be it.
And then I was happy to see Pencil's only $9.99.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the developer's name slipping my head that we talked to. I don't think he's a
Wicked
solo
cool
dev.
dude, though.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah.
Really good vibes.
Yeah, no, I don't. It's
Had
not
the
a
giant
solo.
photo or the giant pencil
Yeah,
with him the whole time.
we do have
really
a picture of us with him.
Yeah, and then Owlchemy Labs. Great as always
No
to see them.
CEO.
No Sea Owl. Love Andrew. He's awesome. So
His energy. I mean, not that they needed it for their booth because it was running, I think pretty damn good. But his presence would have been huge.
Yeah.
Huge. And then maybe possibly they could have got together with a panel or something because obviously he brings some serious knowledge to the table.
There was somebody from Schell Games that we talked to a lot who wasn't here, obviously for personal reasons and such.
Yeah. Was definitely missed though.
Yes, as always.
Yeah.
But-
Definitely missed.
Dude,
Don't know
that
who
side-
they are.
That side of things is always my favorite with these events. I don't need to try a single game or just talk to developers, network with other creators like Mateo,
Yeah.
like Samson and Dan.
It was cool to see Dan in person, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got to see some of my coworkers
Tall ass
as
dude.
well too, with like Miles.
It's pretty banging after parties.
Oh my goodness, we went to a Twitch after party at not even, we're. I don't think anybody knows this is the
I'm a
Twitch
Twitchin'.
people. Yeah, by any means. But we showed up.
We have not on Twitch.
What I loved was we were with a group of like, would you say like 5 people?
Yeah. 5 or 6.
Yeah,
maybe.
and then got to see Eric Masher as well from
Yeah.
UTC.
That was a treat.
Yeah, like
Busy
I got to
as
see some of my
always.
coworkers, and some case my bosses as well.
Yeah.
We show up to the club. You might not act it, but you were the oldest one of the crew, and we were all kind of like old man, like, nah, it's not our scene, And then fucking you walk in and you go, this place is fucking awesome. You're like, you stick your head in there, dude. There's 200 people right there. So we're like, all right, we gotta go in, and you really brought the life to the group. You were like
brought
all
the
over
energy,
the place,
man.
Yeah.
I bring that energy.
It was awesome. You were hopping
Yeah, it was all
in the middle of the dance floor. You weren't dancing, but I saw you like in the huddle of people.
It was just time and place. And after we like checked in the like wicked long hallway, and no clue. I for a little while thought like, oh, maybe it's just this hallway. It's just gonna be like 12 people, whatever. And I look in that door and I'm like, holy shit,
3
dude.
rooms, 3 dance floors,
There's like
pretty much
3 different clubs inside this one club.
banging party though. It was really fun.
Wicked loud music, thumping. I mean, the freaking lights. It was awesome, dude. So yeah, I was in it to win it.
The only convention or anything we've ever gone to that I've gotten too drunk at before was our first year at PAX with Mateo doing the old.
That was you and him, man.
Hey, I see your
I
drinks
held my
hand. I said, I remember him. I see. Oh, your drink's going low. Here's another one. And I was first ever time at a convention, seeing other creators. Way too excited. I remember I don't drink often,
No,
so I got
you're
wrecked.
pretty ill.
And then, unfortunately, I was putting them down at the Twitch party as well too, doing a little of the diagonal walk afterwards.
I typically am pretty good, but I'm just like you. I could probably at the end of the year I can count how
once
many
the
times
tonic water hits your lips, that
well,
little
it's
bit of
not
gin in
it's
it.
not. I'm accustomed to what a normal pour is for a gin and tonic. I am. I appreciate it. There's a reason why I choose it. Beyond like taste and flavor, it's sippable, somewhat hydrating, right? One could argue quinine, healthy, but those were just hitting a little like tougher because 3 should never put an adult, out of commission.
I wish I could say
You know what I'm
mine was.
saying?
I wish I could say I was at 3.
And they're not very big.
And then I'm fucking We're giggling in the hotel room.
Dude, I
till
took
3 a.m.
38 videos of inside the Twitch party.
Giggling at 3 a.m. trying to put down the spare bed in the hotel.
Dude,
we got one king
fun.
size, so they brought us up a cot.
That was fun.
Fucking
It was nice.
Fighting to put it down, just laughing. I get silly once I get to that point.
A little buzzed.
So we had a lot of fun there. How about the DJ there, who I didn't know was also a Twitch streamer, which I guess makes sense as it's a Twitch event.
Go figure.
Yeah. But dude, she was awesome as a DJ.
Dude, crushed it. I mean, so come to find out, we saw her.
I think her name's
earlier.
Nye Beats. Sorry.
Nye like NYY. Yeah. So we saw her earlier at a little mixer at the Laugh Boston, and I didn't really pay attention that not but 2 hours later she's over it now at the Twitch party, and then we find out that because Red Bull had a creator,
I'll talk about that more in a minute after. That was
freaking
freaking awesome.
Lounge, and they had DJs running progressively through the day, and I'm looking at the schedule and I'm like, from 1 to 3:30 is the same DJ. So I'm like, she's doing 3 gigs out till like 2 in the morning.
And that means that when we saw her
up.
yesterday, because we got there like 10 p.m., 10:30, and it went till almost 2.
Yeah.
I mean, so that means that it wasn't just that it was late and we saw her with that energy. We saw her after a whole day of DJing, and at that point, she still had that energy. That's impressive.
It's ridiculous.
Because I was more tired, not DJing, just walking around doing my thing.
She danced more than some people that were on the
the
dance floor.
jumping, like I would have been toast.
But at the end of the day, I'll say as far as the Twitch party, I had a lot more fun than.
And we almost didn't even go. We grabbed tickets the last
it was
moment.
The last minute thing.
It was awesome. They released
sold out.
Yeah. Well, props to Mateo.
Dude,
Mateo's
that
a
club is
great person.
huge.
Sent us all of these events 2 weeks out. But
Oh no, I
it was
get it.
pretty busy with work. We just launched
They dragged ass
through Impact Inc. as the publisher. We launched Surviving Mars Pioneer. So it was just a crazy last week. I didn't book any of the events that Mateo so kindly sent over.
No, he was on.
I checked the day before PAX and they all say sold out. I went, well, not my brightest moment.
Yeah. It's all right. We got in.
So we got in. Yeah, we bought last minute
We were able to purchase
tickets.
them.
But no, that was definitely a cool
What's
highlight.
cool is it was ticketable too, so it's not.
It was
just
open to
like
the
it was-
public. Yeah,
thank you.
anyone could buy it.
So it was not exclusive to,
Yeah.
which kind of makes that experience even cooler for a lot of people who some popular Twitch people there that obviously are huge in their space and what they do. So it's a good opportunity for those fans to actually be able to meet those people. And so no, it was cool.
Yeah, that was a really good vibe, and it was sponsored as 2 of the sponsors. There were other sponsors as
Go
well,
figure.
but 2 of the sponsors there were Schell Games,
Yeah.
and then also our friends who I have 10 minutes left of the interview to edit. The listeners, the consistent listeners of the show are going to be like, this interview never happened.
No.
But I'm like 10 minutes left of that Petrichor interview, and they were also one of the sponsors of that event, developers of Mythic Realms, and it looked like they were demoing Mythic Realms on the stage, which if that's the case, like, dude, it's a dark room, flashing lights,
I give
loud
credit.
music, it's a mixed reality game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that must have been so much sensory. I don't think I was in any condition to put on a VR headset.
That was like, some clubs just have lights. They had the full 360, the light bars.
It looked like Ryan and Oliver were having a great time on the stage
How could you
demoing
not-
it to people
dude,
too.
How could you really not though?
Yeah.
Like for real.
Yeah,
and
no,
you
good
sponsored
vibes.
it, so you should be like all
Good
real
vibes.
happy. Yeah,
Yep.
no, I wish we could have talked to them more, but they were vibing in their element. You're doing exactly what it is they.
So it's like our first year of PAX, we did some on the floor interviews, but like as I've gotten older, I come to more conventions, and we have all these opportunities to grab content with developers year long.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to. You saw
Let
how
them do their
slammed they
thing.
were. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're going to steal them from. There were sometimes
True.
that even just talking to them, I was like, all right, I have to end this conversation because
Go deal with your business.
we
Yeah.
have all the time in the world for this on other days.
No, it's a catch-22 because
It's great content, but
they have to make time, because if they don't, they're not going to get that exposure. But at the end of the day, if you can still, for us, it works out good. For other people, I understand it doesn't. It's that day or no day.
Yeah, whereas us,
'cause
we're
we
like,
can't come back.
we'll
It's
talk to
not
them
our
whenever.
shtick. We're a podcast. We can get you on in a week or two, and you rest up, and
which we
your
did some
voice comes back. And
we did some recording from the hotel.
Yeah.
Like case in point, right now, I mean, I think next year that might even be the way to do it. Is be like, hey, after the convention, if you want to swing by for 30 minutes, we'll have a line out the door like MetaConnect.
Have to get a bigger hotel room.
Yeah. I mean, but hey, if we knew it was for the purpose
similar to what you had in Florida,
that would be perfect.
That's what it's a suite.
Yeah, that would be ideal. But yeah, no, great time. And you mentioned the Red Bull Creator Room too.
Mm-hmm.
Red Bull sponsored PAX East this year. Gave like a whole room for anyone with the media badge or the content creator badge. And infinite Red Bull. All you can drink Red Bull.
Keep talking.
Well, you're going to grab one of your all you can drink Red Bulls at 11 p.m. Motherfucker's not going to sleep. They had the sugar free, the regulars. It was really cool. And then like they did mocktails and stuff too. You're going to bring one over? Yeah, it was really cool. They gave you 2 just when you grabbed your badge if you had a media badge. A PAX East. I guess it's probably appropriate to leave it in. They didn't sponsor the show, Red Bull.
No.
You can hit us up at Damien or Brian, and that is DAMIEN, and that is BRYAN at rufftalkvr.com. If you want to talk sponsorship, we can put this on the table every episode.
Help us grow our wings.
But no, they just sponsored PAX East.
They used to have some of the funniest commercials too.
Mm-hmm.
But man, oh man, that's a company that, in all seriousness, like look at their involvement in like
wicked cool that they got involved.
Dude, they were
like that.
They were mixing mocktails.
Yeah,
I had a peach mocktail today, and it was
kind of saved
delicious.
me today. I genuinely needed that today. The bubbles were perfect.
I can't tell you the last time I really had a Red Bull, so it was refreshing to go in and I had one of their new flavors. Mm-hmm. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm. Then they had some driving sims in there as well. Too.
F1 driving sim
so
with the cool. full drive seat, dude.
Again, it's such a weird conundrum because like.
And that they had an artist in there
doing God, the Sharpie painting?
A 10 by 10 fucking beautiful drawing.
Some DJing in there as well, too.
All day?
Yeah, I mean, dude, like, great stuff from Red Bull and Twitch there. And I mean, like, PAX is such a well-oiled machine. Like, it operates so smoothly.
Yeah.
There's except besides that opening hour is when you'll see a line to get in. Other than that, like, it's
pretty
speedy.
Good flow. Security's really good.
Mm-hmm.
The enforcers inside are they seem a lot
chiller this year.
Yeah, I mean honestly, now that COVID is like not as rampant.
Mm-hmm. That first year we went, it was pretty extreme,
dude. Yeah, but I mean, I get it. They're inheriting what could be a lot of liability and blah blah blah, and people are 100% going to get.
Don't forget,
sick
Boston was the epicenter of the spread in the start with the. Remember they had the biotech conference.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Trip down memory. Yeah. You're going to do it again with the video games? Like,
let's not hold those scary, like infectious disease conferences in our cities, please.
Too funny.
You'd think you'd do that on an island. Right? Like, as crazy as it sounds, like, why would you not a highly populated, like, you should have a special place for having these scary conferences.
But it's like I said, kind of a conundrum how little VR there is. So there's like that downside. But then we get to see, like, because we've been to other events and stuff, like PAX is a really well-oiled machine.
Yeah, runs good.
I'll
assume PAX West runs equally as good.
It'd be cool to check that out sometime. I feel like East might be the bigger, but I don't know.
I don't know. I saw a lot of people wearing PAX West too.
Because if you live on the West Coast, you'd be like, I ain't flying into Boston.
I'm curious. I mean, in all seriousness, I'm curious how it's attended and how it compares. The BCEC is a monstrously huge convention center, though.
Absolutely.
When you take into consideration the meeting rooms.
Mm-hmm. Well, dude, even just to walk from the second floor, like to get to the Red Bull room is quite
with dividers, so you can turn one meeting room into 8. Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous.
But PAX East 2025, our journey on it this year is all wrapped up. Basically, like I said, we're just packing, but I mean, another great year. In terms of like just memories, having fun. We had a great moment with the Stay Forever Home dev where she recognized us. That was a real good, feel good moment. That was awesome. Yeah, just a good convention in our backyard.
Saturday cosplay. That's always fun.
Would love to see an event like the Home of XR come to PAX East and just dominate. I mean, we have an international airport right there. We have the hotels attached to the BCEC, basically 3 hotels.
The reality is
Boston.
Financially, it's more affordable than most conventions. Even though there's still a big operating expense, it's not going to be nearly as steep as others that you could list off. And you're going to get much better exposure. to the actual people that you want to play your game, not the people who already play the game or play your devices. And
we did a good interview, which we haven't said who we interviewed yet, so I'm not going to say it at this second in case we want to keep that as like a surprise announcement. But there's something I said in it, so I don't want to repeat too much. But it's like, dude, it's an audience of hardcore gamers that aren't all daily VR users.
They're not using your shit.
It's not the audience like. Yeah.
It's the perfect audience you want to get your shit in front of.
Absolutely.
More than the audience that already owns it. Yeah, no, I know.
We'll save it for that. It sucks because it's a good point, but it'll come out in that interview.
I don't think it's something that probably couldn't be figured out, but it's like, an XR booth situation. You don't even have to call it that, you know. Just
a big collab. I mean, you look at how like Stay Forever Home, they got in here because they collabed with another booth that wasn't even VR specific. Like, geez, if we could just get like that Nintendo-sized booth in the middle, but like as VR.
If you get at least 12 solid VR peeps in there, that's a nice setup.
Because it's PAX,
there's no fat line. No,
there's no B2B section for PAX, so it'd probably be best to do a like open to the public.
That's the only way I would do it at PAX. There's actually
with
no
dedicated
reason,
media reservations.
Still, send out the invites. Creators can make appointments just like they do for everything else. But at the end of the day, you're going to get a lot more people playing VR for the first time. Chances are, with your particular game, it's going to be a handful of their first ever experiences. Yeah, you want that. That's the representation you want.
No doubt.
But we'll see.
Yeah, like
a lot of work to be done. But PAX runs good.
It's just such a fertile ground for good exposure for games.
For anything.
Like
name a card game. A tabletop game. I mean, they have everything. Fucking Catan had a 30-foot booth, dude. Not 30 feet. Dude.
No, I know what you mean, though.
Like 30 feet.
And they had a good crowd.
Yeah, a lot of underutilized space going. I thought Catan should have collabed with the VR side
game
and had half the booth.
They had the space for it.
Dude, it was not being used. It was just big red carpet.
Catan's and the VR version is not like the longest play session ever. You could have up to 4 people at once, and I think it would have been a really good one.
Again, I don't know why it's our mission in life to have to
push VR at PAX, but
to get other companies to make.
We're not going to stop. We're not going to stop, dude. Sometimes we drop like, I would publish this game. Hey, here's a great game. Try our best to move the industry forward, however we can, and I feel like PAX East would be such good exposure for so many games.
Only because it's an easy one. And then someday it's not going to be.
There's so much media there, too, that doesn't usually cover VR.
So now it's an easy one. Someday it's not going to be. And when it's not that, it's not going to give you that luxury of exposure, then it's going to be too late for you.
Yep.
So it's like, get in while you can, right? Isn't that what the deal is?
Look at Pin City. Look at the reputation that they've established through being at PAX 3 years.
Dude, they're the best.
Yeah,
they're the true definition of indie dev.
Yeah.
Until I can be proven otherwise.
I think they should just put that shit out as early access title. Add to it
I think
more.
They suffer from development release syndrome.
Perfectionism.
We can't.
We call it
spoon-feditis. Spoon-feditis.
I got a bad case of the spoon-feds.
Yeah, I can't stop working.
I always have a new idea for my game.
It could be better.
Which I joke, but I can't say that because Spoon's game's out, Grim's out, so
not only it's out, even he's still working and doing
fucking
shit.
Make an island. What the hell's going on there?
That's huge.
Well, I guess, speaking of the Combat Waffle studio side, not only did we visit them last week, the PSVR2 version dropped. It's out.
It's out in the wild, man.
Yeah. We haven't played it, obviously. We're not PSVR2 users yet.
No, I've heard good things.
Yeah.
Graphically, I heard really good things.
Yeah, I heard it's like very on par with the PC VR version graphics-wise.
Yeah. Until I play it, I can't. I believe the source. I'll say that.
One more platform, like adding to their daily active players. Like, that's awesome.
I'm happy for the PSVR2 players. It's just one more game in their library that they can get.
Which has improved so much these last 12 months.
I'm going to start backing off of
the jokes
that
and
statement
stuff.
Because, I don't tell
Apple Vision Pro, you're getting my heat now.
You notice I don't tell any jokes about it anymore.
Yeah,
I just say like how grateful and beneficial to be but they're at that point now where they don't even need that kind of like side talk crap coming from me.
Well, when we do our news episodes, we end every episode talking about the games coming out across all platforms, and like you've seen it. It's like there's some weeks where it's like,
Like, this is a very PSVR2
2 heavy release coming up, and I feel like it's just a lot of the word has gotten out maybe that it's profitable.
Well,
to put in the effort.
You wouldn't see it being done if it wasn't profitable.
Yeah, and it feels like word's getting out.
People might say VR doesn't make money, and I'm like, here to tell you, it actually does make money. You can make really good money.
Don't hire 200 people.
It's not a guarantee you're going to make money, right? But don't look me in the face and tell me that you got like 30 games coming out in the next 2 months to your system that there's no money in it. It's like, that's ridiculous. There's nobody with any business sense that would look at a business plan like that and be like, only one out of you is good. You know, it's like, I just listen to the way people think sometimes or talk with the financial side of things of like more of that sky's falling type doom and gloom shit.
Don't even get me started. We don't have time to get into that
today.
shit.
Not today. But the reality is there's money. Dude, you can make money doing anything. And there's a lot of successful studios that should feel insulted every time someone's like, there's no money in it. And it's like, while your kids are going to school and being fed and you have a house and a car. And you're like, shit, I guess that happened from...
You know, it's one of the big epiphanies I've had this past year, and it's silly that it's been in the past year, not like just instinctive from life.
Yeah.
It's like, game studios are a business, dude. Like, some people run a really good business. Some people can't run a business. Doesn't matter what the industry is. Like, most businesses close in the first year, right?
9 out of 10?
Something like that.
It's ridiculous. I know.
I just know it's a very high failure
rate. Then technically 50% of those will fail year 2. So you survive like the huge storm, and then the next year there's a 50% chance. But hey, listen, even smart business people can run a bad business.
Yeah.
It could be wrong timing. I mean, we listened to Nolan talk, founder of Atari, and I mean, he made it clear from the get-go. His whole life was filled with either right place, right time, and right choice, or wrong choice, wrong time, wrong place, and it cost you.
Yeah, he tried to make the full humanoid robot back in like the 80s, and he's like, I lost it all.
And you
on
look
that
at that thing, and it's like George Jetson type shit. It's like, yeah, no, people were probably a little creeped out by the fact there'd be a little robot all beep, boop, 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 wop, wop.
Do you remember Google Glasses in like the mid 2000s?
Yeah, dude.
And like,
they were so blatant.
And people freaked out at that. Now Meta Ray-Bans are one of the hottest selling tech products. Like,
it just sometimes things are ahead of the curve. They just need time.
Definitely that was ahead of its curve.
We needed
Astrobot,
to,
whatever it's called.
It's actually further proof of how much we've given up since what is a memorable time period of Google. And then the total seriousness, it's like for us to accept Ray-Ban glasses, which I love, I use. Other people have used them.
A decade ago, it
don't
got
even
you punched
care.
in the face.
People
were breaking them. People were freaking out.
So that's the level of personal privacy we're now allowed us to give up as individuals.
That's not even a big deal.
And that's 10 years.
Yeah.
So what happens in 10 years? Like, what level of your privacy? And we will, willingly and happily too, because it's going to do cool shit.
Well, it happened so slow. It was taking a step back, and you go, wow, that all happened so fast. But like when it's happening in front of you, it's day by day. So you just kind of adapt with the changes.
One could even wear I'll do the tinfoil hat shit. Ready? Since Google's crazy notorious with just killing shit for fun, right? Like sport killing. We'll just kill a project because, well, fucking why not?
Somebody got a promotion.
Maybe because the glasses were pretty wacky looking, right? Let's be honest. They were just weird looking. Even by today's standards, you'd be like, that's a weird thing. Maybe it was never meant to be good. Maybe it was meant to be put out there to do exactly what it did. Draw the attention, be like, that's fucking ridiculous. That's stupid. Everybody fucking hates it. But now it's out there. The seed's planted. Now years time goes on. You become numb to it.
And now Facebook's beating them to it?
Yeah. But maybe they never cared that they weren't going to be the ones. But it's exciting, and it's also kind of like from a like, wow, we really are willing to just for the
again, when it happens like day by day, you just adapt with it, right? Then you can take a step back and go, wow, 10 years ago that was an issue. Now it's not, but you don't notice it when the tech slowly comes out.
But I did feel bad for Google. They took it
oh yeah, that was not the most.
Keep itching my chin because I didn't shave today.
Yeah,
for some reason now I'm like.
And then I know it's very late. We still got to pack, so we probably won't go too much longer. I did want to shout out though. I mentioned it earlier at the start. Impact Inked, new publishing division under Impact Reality, published, developed by Bulwark Games. We came out with Surviving Mars Pioneer, which you've actually been enjoying. I know you want to play it even more before we do a formal talk next week. You were actually saying like, oh, that's kind of good we're not doing the news this week because I can put more time into it before we bring it up. So I'm sorry to put you on the spot.
As much as I thought. Oh, Jesus, I got to be so careful with what I say. I got
tongue-tied.
Mighty Coconut just tortured me last week.
Yeah, that's funny.
I don't even want to point fingers at to where to find that. It's better than I thought it would be, but it's everything I thought it would be, and it's everything I didn't think it would be. They did a good job. That
genre of game, like if you like it, once you start vibing with it, you'll kill your battery.
The graphics are pretty damn good. Mm-hmm. So far, I haven't had any issues.
There are bugs. It's early access. So
I'm just saying again.
Yeah, you're speaking on your experience.
I'll say every game has bugs.
Yeah,
show me a game that doesn't.
It's early access. So like, if there's bugs, we have a submit.
Get the fuck out of here. That ain't early access.
It's early access.
People are, that's early access. Like I'm handicapped because I want to get to the plane seat first. I'm just saying, dude.
If you hit bugs, you'll be like, it's early access. I get it.
I've hit games. I've had bugs in games that are 100% not early access.
There's an excuse.
I can go on Quest right now and look at, or Horizon, whatever I'm calling it this month, and look at the reviews on shit, and it's gonna be like, game has bugs, game's janky, and not Surviving Mars. I'm just saying it's run really well for me.
Surviving Mars Pioneer,
yes. Not the same game. Not a 1-for-1.
I'm being silly.
No, but some people are very touchy about that. Like
yeah, I mean, I've gotten messages about like, hey, it needs to be in all caps.
Has to be VR. You can't just say.
I'm trying to open up my MetaQuest app to see the store rating and it's crashing. You saw that?
Yeah,
that's crazy. Let me go to
Google heard me smack talking.
Oh, dude, no, shit.
You're using Google too. They're like, oh yeah, you like the way we kill shit. Watch this. You kill your internet.
Yeah, I can't open it. 4.8 overall though, with 83 reviews. That's not bad. So I'm,
But don't tell me that's early access.
It's early access. I'll fight you on it, but maybe next week you'll come into it going, yeah.
So at what point is this coming out of early access?
But it's great. It is a really fun game. It's super fun.
Is there any idea of any published record of when this is going to be not considered early access, or are we doing the forever early access?
No, definitely won't be forever. I mean, it's early access. It's early access. $19.99 on the Quest store, and it's out on Steam for $19.99 as well.
Go play the not janky, not broken, haven't had any bugs in 3 hours of straight gameplay, doing all sorts of crazy shit.
You'll hit them, but it's still a great game, still worth the money, and the reception speaks for itself. Okay.
4.8. Everyone else.
I actually looked at. I looked at went up to 4.
Everyone else is hitting them bugs too, huh?
It went up to 90 reviews, but it's at a 4.7.
Okay,
so it went down 0.1.
Somebody's pissed.
People are hitting bugs.
Okay.
It's a really good game, though. It's a really fun game.
I understand, but so obviously somebody had something bad to say. So I'm just curious what it was that caused this dismay. Because if it was a bug, then shame on them because it is early access. But I'm just curious, in all seriousness, what the complaint might have been.
I know I'm being difficult. I can't open up the app, and on my browser page, I can't search by rating or the most recent or anything like that.
No, that's fair.
So I genuinely don't know.
I'll rehash this next week when I continue to play the early access version.
And I'm just stressing the early access fact because, I get it. There's bugs. I don't want to lie to anyone with it. And honestly,
if you didn't tell me it was early access, I would be equally as enjoying as I am, and I've had no complaints so far.
Okay, here's the review 2 hours ago.
Okay,
buggy, but it's new and expected. 3 stars.
Buggy.
3 stars.
Explain. Okay, so that told me nothing.
They said I recommend multiple saves early, 10 hours in, over 10 hours in. Yeah, 3 stars for an early access game might be a little rough to do, in my opinion, of reviewing stuff.
Well, when your review is buggy,
that
does. When I'm telling you, like personally, I think maybe I just get blessed sometimes.
No, it happens later. You'll encounter them.
So after a certain time period,
it's a certain point of progress in the game. You'll start to see them pop up.
A
bit more.
I look forward to it.
We have Discord.
Can I kill them?
Kill the bugs? No, not those kind of bugs. We got Discord server to submit any feedback or issues. We have a feed bear to submit bugs.
I was just gonna do YouTube shorts and say what a piece of shit it was.
Well, you're smart though. You only go off of your own personal experience, which you haven't encountered the bugs yet. That's awesome to hear.
Listen, I was excited when I knew the game was coming. I'm excited when I got to play it. I'm excited it's in the wild. I actually appreciate the differences from the flat screen version I own to what I'm playing in VR.
Much more of a survival.
I like the
base
direction.
building game.
It's you do base building in the flat screen for sure,
but it's more like colony.
And I'd call it. I'd say
building.
you're yourself.
Yeah,
you know,
it's not building a civilization. It's
I'm
building a
having
base
fun.
for you to.
I'm
survive.
having fun.
It's a great game. Honestly, it is.
If I
Like
stop having fun, I'll let you know.
it is one of those games. Like I said, once you get like,
If you're into that type of thing, you're gonna love it.
yeah, you're gonna crush your battery.
But I'm also gonna guess if you're into that type of thing, you possibly might already own the flat screen version.
it's definitely a strong IP. There's definitely a lot of people that like the flat screen one, no doubt.
And the graphics were surprisingly, especially the intro, was surprisingly much better than I thought it could have been done.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal game. It's really good. Obviously, I'm biased in my statement. You're not.
You are. I'm not. I'm innocent.
You're not. But if it's funny, I'm the biased one technically on the paper, and I'm being much more,
You're being like technically factual. I'm being like
personal
consumer
experience.
factual.
Yeah, I get
which
it.
is different than
I
like
get it.
not knowing back end shit as a consumer. It's like I don't care what the fuck you say. If it doesn't happen to me, you
I've
can tell me
also-
I have the worst car in the world, but if it runs good for me, it's
I've watched a lot of the creator coverage of it because, like, hey, it's a game I'm involved in. Second game ever after Trombone Champ on Flat, and so it's really cool. Like nobody's mentioning early access in their coverage of it. Nobody's calling it early access.
I wonder why.
It's like probably should be, labeled as such with it.
They should be called out.
No. I
They
get
should
it.
be held to the same
anything-
standards that I am.
It's a credit to how good those first couple hours.
That's what I was saying, dude.
Hours
But
are.
I mean, I get it. Maybe something will happen. I'll let you know.
For sure.
I'll scream it from the top of the mountains.
But good stuff. We got Ghosts of Tabor out in the wild on PSVR2. Fully expecting them to hit number 1 on the store. I'll almost be disappointed with anything else.
I'm pretty sure they will.
Then we also had Surviving Mars Pioneer come out. Very biased there. Love it. Glad you love it. Excited to talk more about it next week. And then PAX East 2025 in the wrapped up. Another great experience. Great excuse just to get together.
Yeah.
Father-son trip. You don't have to convince me too much to
No,
take
we're
one
pretty
of those.
easy with going pretty much anywhere under those circumstances.
It's a good time. Always love seeing all the creators, the different developers. It's always my highlight. I just wish that there was more developers. That's the only thing I want to talk with even more people. But, the networking is always the highlight. Anything we didn't hit with the PAX East experience this year? I know it's a shorter one based compared to our 2-hour ones we've been doing recently.
Oh, we got a 300 square foot room to clean.
Even our interview, we were like, we'll do 30 minutes, hour and 20 later.
Yeah.
Shit happens.
Bet you the smart Discord detectives will figure it out.
Yes. I'm
It actually
the crew.
isn't. It wouldn't be hard to figure out at all.
No,
We'll figure out.
Yeah. I'm guessing we'll get a message from Amelia in about 2 hours after this episode drops, and she will already have it figured out.
Yep, to a T.
Just like I'll be disappointed with anything else of Ghosts of Tabor getting number 1 on the store, I will be disappointed if it takes her till the next day. I have faith.
No, she's a good one.
Got a Sweet Among Us shirt.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. We'll show that
I'll
after.
I'll wear it next week for sure. It's
I mean,
so
you can-
soft.
I have some tricks as an editor I've picked up. One of those being the time that I wore a green shirt while recording. So I'm going to have to do that with the episode next week.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you wear.
I'll do photos.
Or you can be a floating head.
No.
But I
wanna
don't
be a
mind to do
floating
it.
head.
I don't mind to do it. I got some good keying out tricks I've learned in my day. But yeah, podcast in a hotel. Whoa. This is I think it's time for bed. So I think we're going to wrap this ship up.
Time to clean.
Ship, SHIP. I didn't cuss, actually. I said wrap this ship
Yes.
up. And then, huge shout out to PAX East 2025. Like I keep saying, hopefully more of a VR scene next year. But huge props to all the developers that did make it out. Like I said, Owlchemy Labs, Schell, Pencil, Stay Forever Home, Tunnels, Pin City.
Pin Cities, last year we talked about seeing you at PAX. I'm just hoping, dude.
I will, dude. If they
had the
their
wish
game,
listed on Steam.
you said that because you hope that they release their game.
Yeah.
But if they release their game, they might be at PAX next year to sell it too.
I don't think they'll have a problem.
We'll see. Maybe we'll see them next
they're
year.
gonna have a problem.
But their game's looking so good. It's awesome. Huge shout out to all the creators that made it out this year as well too.
Good amount. Real good amount.
Yep. It was awesome. And thank you.
Thank
as
you
always,
again, Red Bull.
As the listener. No, I was going to thank the listeners first. But yeah, no, thank you, Red Bull, for all the free Red Bull. Drink a lot of sugar free.
with the listeners.
Yeah, and thank you to you, the listener, viewer, tunes in week after week. Stay tuned. I'm sure we'll talk about PAX East even more next week. Stay tuned for our interview dropping towards the end of the week as well, too. Stay tuned for the Mythic Realms episode. I promise. About 10 more minutes left of editing. And subscribe, rate us 5 stars, check out the Patreon, the Discord, all that fun stuff. And we will check you out later this week. Ciao, ciao.